I'm Kristen Bendele, and I had Kate Hartman work on our home in Boulder. We redid the master bathroom, we redid the entryway, the family room, and the kitchen space. We bought the home and knew that we wanted to make some adjustments. It was fairly old. I used an oil-based stain on the floors and on some of the furniture, which at the point that we moved in, it was really yellowed. The kitchen was really dated. It was from probably the 80s or early 90s. So we knew we wanted to make some adjustments. We just weren't planning on doing it so soon. We went on vacation, and while we were away, we had a pipe in the kitchen burst. So we basically redid the entire kitchen. And then that kind of morphed into the family room space because they're both connected. So yeah, just got to it much sooner than we anticipated. We have a home in Minturn, which is right outside of Vail. And we had originally talked to a guy named Scott Turode, who's an architect in Alabama, to help us with the plans. And while we were going through that process, he had told me about his friend Kate, who was moving to Boulder. And he said, you guys should meet, you get along. And that's kind of how the introduction happened. And then when Kate and I became friends, and then when the kitchen issue came up with the flooding, I knew I could call her and see if she had time to take on a project. She's also just about to start working on our place in Vail. We're going to start a major remodel up there. So just have total faith in her. I've worked with a few designers in the past who didn't have such a creative artistic eye as Kate. And it's really, I think, rare to find a person who has an engineering background, but is so creative and talented and can see this vision. And she's an artist and an engineer. So I think you get everything in one package with her. So we worked really closely together. I showed her pictures of things that I liked and kind of my style. And then she brought a whole nother element, things that I would never think of. And I think that's one of the things that really drew me to Kate, is that she would kind of push me to look at and consider things that might not typically be what I would choose, but fit with my style really well. She's super organized. We had a plan in place before we did anything. And that really helped me, with 2 kids and dogs and a husband who works a ton, and I'm running around all the time. It was really nice just to have someone who was super organized and knew exactly what was happening at every step. So it was great. I'm kind of a neutral person just in terms of colors and what I like. So we stuck with neutral tones and brass and whites and creams, and it just looks beautiful. It looks much more open, much more clean, obviously really streamlined. She brought this more modern flair to the project, which was great. And really just we picked out new drapes and new furniture for the living room, and it just kind of blends so nicely throughout the rest of the house. She did an amazing job. I don't think there's anything that I don't like. Before Kate came along, I just could not find the right mix of things. And I didn't know, obviously, I'm not a designer, and I didn't know what to choose and why you chose certain things. So I would be swapping out pillows and rugs and accessories constantly, and it drove my husband crazy. I also like to move around furniture a lot. So when Kate came and helped us with the process, since she started, I haven't picked out anything new because everything has its place and it looks beautiful and it's great. Kate's attention to detail, she doesn't miss a thing, and she's so researched in everything that she chooses. We were debating between 2 ice makers, and I liked one of the ice makers better than the other. And she said, well, no, Kristen, you don't want that ice maker because the ice comes out like top hats. And when you fill up your glass, the top hats create this angle and the water shoots back out at you from the glass. And I thought, how in the world did you know that? But she does. So everything we chose, there was a real rhyme and reason to everything that she chose, which was wonderful.